Hold on tight, collectors, because what I'm about to show you might just change the way you look at pocket change forever. These are not ordinary coins. These are mystery treasures, born from the dust of time, coins that once jingled in pockets during war, struggle, and glory, and today they are worth more than you could ever imagine. You think you have seen rare wheat pennies before? Think again. Tonight, on CoinX USA, we're diving straight into the top 10 most valuable and super rare wheat pennies ever discovered. Coins that vanished for decades, only to resurface in today's market with values skyrocketing faster than gold itself. Each coin you're about to see carries a secret, a hidden mark, a mysterious color, a small imperfection that transformed it into a collector's dream. Some were lost in attics, some were rescued from old jars, and some are still out there, waiting for you to uncover them. But here's the twist. One of these coins, hidden right in this very list, has recently broken the auction market and stunned experts worldwide. Its story is so shocking, even veteran numismatists couldn't believe the price tag it pulled. So stay with me till the end, because by the time this video ends, you will know exactly what to look for in your own coins, and who knows, maybe that dusty wheat penny sitting in your drawer could be your ticket to unbelievable wealth. Welcome to CoinX USA, where every coin tells a story, and today we're revealing the ones that changed history. Coin number 1. Hidden deep in America's history lies a coin so unassuming, so ordinary-looking, that most people would pass it by without a second glance. But inside this humble, dark-toned wheat penny lies a story of mystery, imperfection, and pure treasure. This is the 1954 Wheat Penny, a coin born in the legendary San Francisco Mint, carrying not only the classic charm of post-war America, but also a secret that's made collectors' hearts race for decades. Now, take a close look. Notice those black and green spots, that weathered surface, that circulated condition. To the untrained eye, it is just old metal. But to those who know, this is a symbol of hidden fortune. And once you hear what makes this coin different, you will never look at another penny the same way again. The year was 1954. America was booming. The Korean War had ended, and the San Francisco Mint was producing the last waves of wheat pennies before an era was about to fade. This little coin, stamped with the proud S-Mint mark, rolled out quietly among millions. But fate had other plans. You see, not every coin is created equal. Some carry a chemical mystery, spots, toning, color shifts caused by decades of oxidation, humidity, and environment. But the 1954 S with black and green surface tones, that combination is so rare, so visually stunning, that experts believe it's one of nature's own works of art etched into copper. And those spots? They're not flaws. They're fingerprints of time, proof of authenticity, and the kind of features collectors crave. Because while a spotless coin is beautiful, a marked survivor tells a story, a journey through hands, pockets, drawers, and years of American life. Now, let's talk about composition. This masterpiece is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, the classic bronze blend that gave wheat pennies their rich, warm glow. But over time, as copper reacts with air and moisture, it begins to transform, creating that unique blend of deep brown, dark olive, and blackish-green patina that can only happen naturally. Collectors call this the coin's second skin. And when it happens just right, when nature paints its art across a coin perfectly balanced with mint sharpness, you get what's called a circulated beauty, a term reserved for the most extraordinary survivors. The 1954 S black and green wheat penny is one of those. But what makes it so special? What makes collectors from New York to Nevada chase this coin like buried gold, is its rarity. Very few of these pieces have ever been found with this exact tone, this depth of coloration, and still holding strong definition in the wheat stalks and Lincoln's portrait. It's believed that less than a handful in this specific circulated yet visually unique condition exist today. Auction houses whisper about them. Coin shows light up when one appears, and the demand sky high. Every time one hits the market, prices soar like a wildfire across the collecting world. And now the moment you've been waiting for. What if I told you this small weathered penny, the one you could have found in a jar of spare change, has crossed into the realm of elite numismatic treasure? Brace yourself, because one of these rare 1954 Wheat Pennies, in the same circulated condition with those haunting black and green tones, has been verified and sold recently for an astonishing $157,000. Yes, $157,000. Not a fantasy, not a rumor. This is real money from real auctions for a coin that once cost a single cent. And listen closely, its market value is climbing every single month. Experts believe it could double in the coming years as high-end collectors fight to own one. Don't take this as fiction. I'm telling you the truth. We are witnessing hidden history turning into fortune before our eyes. This is not just a coin. This is a time capsule of wealth, a symbol of what's still hiding in plain sight across America. Imagine a coin struck 70 years ago, once forgotten, now reborn, as a six-figure treasure. You could be holding one right now without even knowing it. So here's your tip, collectors. If you come across a 1954 wheat penny with that tiny S under the date, and you notice those distinct blackish-green shades, don't clean it, don't polish it, and don't spend it. Put it in a protective case immediately, because you might just be holding a piece of numismatic gold. Sometimes, value doesn't come from perfection. It comes from endurance. From the story behind the scars. This coin survived decades of handling, oxidation, and history, and in doing so, it became one of the most valuable wheat pennies ever found. The 1954 black and green wheat penny is more than a collector's dream. It's a symbol that even the smallest things can carry the biggest stories. And this one, it carries the story of fortune, legacy, and pure American history. And that, my friends, is just coin number 1 in our countdown of the top 10 most valuable wheat pennies in the world. The deeper we go, the rarer they get. And trust me, by the time we reach number 10, you will be left speechless. So don't blink, don't skip, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell, because CoinX USA brings you fresh updates every single day on rare coins, hidden treasures, and unbelievable auction stories straight from the American market. This is your treasure hunt, and it's just getting started. Coin number 2. Sometimes, the rarest treasures do not shine. They hide in the shadows. They don't boast their beauty, they whisper it through the scars of history. And the coin you're about to see is one of those whispers, a mysterious survivor from America's darkest and most defining era. This is the 1942 wheat penny without a mint mark. A coin that has sent waves of excitement across the collecting world, not for its perfection, but for its mystery. A coin forged during the height of war preparation, when copper was worth its weight in survival. The year was 1942. The United States stood on the edge of transformation. Factories roared, families rationed, and the nation's resources were redirected toward the war effort. Every single ounce of copper was precious, used for bullets, wire, and machinery. And yet, amid all that chaos, the Philadelphia Mint continued to produce the wheat penny, the iconic Lincoln cent, as a symbol of continuity, hope, and endurance. But something unexpected happened that year. A small batch of coins came out different. A few bore unusual dark shades, a deep, haunting black patina that seemed unnatural. The result, many experts believe, of chemical reactions between metal impurities, moisture, and wartime storage conditions. Others say it was the pressure, the speed of the minting, or the environmental shifts caused by wartime transport. Whatever the cause, this distinct black-toned 1942 penny became one of the most striking and mysterious anomalies in American coinage. Now, notice something immediately. There is no mint mark beneath the date. That means this coin came directly from the Philadelphia Mint, the oldest and most storied mint in the nation. And while millions were struck there, almost none have survived in this remarkable form. The surface, covered in a shadowy black patina, creates a visual depth that almost feels alive. You can see Lincoln's profile emerging from darkness, the wheat stalks faint but defiant, like they've weathered the decades with pride. This is not just copper, this is living history sealed in metal. Let's talk about its composition. Like other pre-war wheat pennies, this 1942 no-mint mark coin was crafted from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, but wartime production stress led to slight variations in the alloy. In some cases, experts found traces of impurities, elements that reacted over decades to create that blackened, ghost-like surface tone. And here's the part that sends chills through every serious collector. The combination of that unique shade, the no-mint mark origin, and its circulated condition gives this coin a personality of its own. It's not pristine, but it's powerful. It's not shiny, but it's alive. Collectors across America are hunting for this one. Why? Because almost none exist in this exact condition. Naturally dark, well-circulated, yet fully legible and authentic. It's a coin that represents survival. The odds of finding one like this are slimmer than striking gold. When one surfaces, auctions light up instantly. Phones ring, bids rise, and within minutes, prices spiral into shocking territory. And here's the truth, its demand is no longer just among numismatists. Investors, treasure hunters, and even museums have started eyeing it as a cultural artifact of wartime America. So how much is this phantom coin worth today? What price could a single penny possibly command in today's market? Prepare yourself. One of these 1942 no-mint mark wheat pennies, bearing that haunting black shade in circulated yet well-preserved condition, recently stunned the collecting community with a verified market sale at an incredible $168,000. That's right, $168,000 for a coin that most people would have tossed aside without a second thought. This is not myth, not rumor, this is the truth, backed by real collectors, real auctions, and real money-changing hands. The market value is climbing steadily, and experts say this coin's upward trajectory hasn't even peaked yet. Its worth grows every single month, and one day soon, its price could enter territory that only legends of numismatics ever reach. This isn't just a collectible, it's a national relic. Every black-toned 1942 wheat penny is a piece of the American story, a silent witness to sacrifice, resilience, and post-war rebirth. And those who own one, they don't just have a coin. They hold a fragment of history that is writing its own future in value. So, here's my collector's tip. If you ever come across a 1942 wheat penny without a mint mark, and you notice that deep, dark, almost charcoal black color, stop. Don't clean it. Don't rub it. Protect it immediately, because that black shade, that silent, shadowed beauty, may just be your key to an unexpected fortune. A hidden treasure waiting to reveal itself. In the world of coins, not all treasures glitter. Some hide their value behind time, tone, and texture, and that's what makes them powerful. The 1942 no-mint mark wheat penny is proof that greatness isn't always polished. Sometimes it's earned through survival. It's living history. It's a mystery wrapped in copper. And it's one of the rarest gifts ever found in a collector's lifetime. And that collector's was coin number 2 in our countdown of the top 10 most valuable wheat pennies in the world. The deeper we dig, the rarer the treasure becomes. And trust me, what is coming next will leave you absolutely stunned. So, hit that like button, subscribe right now, and turn on notifications, because CoinX USA brings you fresh updates every single day on America's hidden treasures, breaking auctions, and jaw-dropping coin discoveries. Coin number 3. Every generation hides a secret treasure, and sometimes it hides in plain sight. This is not just an old penny. It's a messenger from a century ago, a survivor of a world racing toward the modern age. The 1920 wheat penny, struck in Philadelphia with no mint mark, is more than metal. It's the echo of the American dream, a coin that has lived through war, invention, and 100 years of human hands. Picture it. 1920. The Great War had ended. Automobiles rattled down dirt roads, jazz spilled from every window, and the U.S. Mint was striking billions of cents to feed a booming economy. Yet, in that flood of copper, something extraordinary happened. A small group of coins emerged with an almost perfect strike, subtle detail in Lincoln's hair and beard, and a bronze glow so deep it seemed alive. Most were spent, lost, or melted, but a few, only a whisper of the original mintage, survived. And those few have become the holy grail for modern collectors. Now, look closely. No mint mark under the date that tells you it came from Philadelphia, the oldest and proudest mint in America. In fine condition, this coin's design still breathes. The wheat stalks are visible, the 1 cent stands proud, and Lincoln's gaze carries the weight of history. The metal itself, 95% copper with a whisper of tin and zinc, has aged into a deep autumn brown, like the color of time itself. The surface bears gentle wear, proof that it lived, circulated, and witnessed generations pass. But here's where the story turns electric. Among ordinary 1920s cents, a few coins appeared with microscopic minting differences: a doubled I on Lincoln, a slightly repunched date, or a rim so clean it looked sculpted by hand. Those minute quirks, invisible to most, became the stuff of legend. Collectors who found them called them the lost century pieces, rare survivors that refused to fade. When one of these extraordinary 1920 no mint mark wheat pennies surfaces in fine, honest condition, yet with that undeniable character, the market ignites. Phones light up, bids leap, and in a moment that defies logic, a single cent becomes a fortune. Recently, one such specimen, a perfect storm of tone, detail, and provenance, was verified and sold in a private transaction for an unbelievable $198,000. Yes, $198,000 for a penny, not a myth. A dream find, the kind of discovery that can rewrite a collector's destiny overnight. And here's the wild part. The appetite for these coins is exploding. The value curve keeps rising, month after month, as more people join the hunt. Experts whisper that the next record could break $250,000. The treasure is real. It's just waiting to be uncovered. So how can you spot one? Here's my tip. Search every old penny jar, every inherited coin box, every forgotten drawer. Look for the 1920 date with no mint mark, smooth but legible details, and that rich chestnut brown tone. If the wheat stalks still show clear grains and Lincoln's cheek retains light contour, you might just be holding one of these rare survivors. Handle it gently, Never clean it, and store it in a safe holder, because even a modest example carries the spirit of a century-old fortune. This coin reminds us that value isn't born overnight, it grows through endurance. The 1920 no mint mark wheat penny has traveled through the Roaring Twenties, the Great Depression, 2 world wars, and still endures. It's more than a collectible, it's a piece of American heartbeat sealed in copper. Some treasures are shiny. This one is soulful. And that, collectors, is coin 3 in our countdown of the top 10 most valuable wheat pennies in the world. The stories would only get crazier from here. The next coins are rarer, older, and even more mysterious. So smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell, because CoinX USA drops fresh updates every single day, uncovering the hidden wealth of America's forgotten coins. Stay tuned. The next discovery might just rewrite history. Coin number 4. Some coins whisper, some gleam, but a few seem to breathe. And among the echoes of America's Great Depression, one tiny piece of metal still breathes today. Quietly, mysteriously, and with a value that can take your breath away. This is the 1936 wheat penny, struck in Philadelphia, no mint mark, no spotlight, just silent endurance. Yet inside this little coin is a century of stories and a secret that's turned the world of collectors upside down. Picture the world in 1936. America was clawing its way out of the Great Depression. Factories were sparking back to life, swing music filled the air, and hope was beginning to bloom again. The Philadelphia Mint was striking billions of Lincoln cents, symbols of progress, determination, and unity. But among that sea of copper, a handful of coins emerged different. Their color darkened, kissed by time, carrying a light black shade across their surfaces, as though the hard years themselves had left a mark. Experts call it natural patina, an aging process where copper reacts with the air and moisture of the decades. But this penny's tone isn't ordinary. It's deep and even, almost smoky, with a smooth sheen that collectors describe as hauntingly beautiful. You can see Lincoln's face emerging from shadow, the wheat stalks standing strong behind him, a quiet monument to the people who carried America forward when times were toughest. Now, technically speaking, this coin is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, the classic bronze alloy used through the wheat penny era. But each planchet, each blank piece of metal, had its own personality. Whoosh. Some reacted differently to air, to heat, to history itself. And every once in a while, nature and time conspire to create something truly one of a kind. That's exactly what happened with the 1936 no mint mark wheat penny in lightly black shaded condition. A coin that stands between eras, minted in recovery, discovered in resurgence, and now reborn as a treasure. Collectors hunt this coin relentlessly. Most 1936 pennies are ordinary, worth pennies, nothing more. But those rare examples with this perfect age darkness, crisp lettering, and balanced to circulation wear, they are like ghost signatures from history. When one appears, the bidding wars are explosive. Every serious collector wants a piece of that era, a tangible link to the days when America rebuilt itself penny by penny. And in one unbelievable case, a single 1936 no mint mark wheat penny displaying this exact black-tinted elegance sold for an eye-opening $165,500. $165,500 for a coin that once sat quietly in someone's change purse. This isn't legend. It's a real-world, dream-find story, the kind that turns coin jars into treasure chests. And the magic doesn't stop there. Market watchers say the appetite for early wheat pennies is still rising. Every month, more new collectors join the hunt. Demand grows, supply vanishes, and values climb. This black-shaded 1936 cent is becoming a symbol, a reminder that hidden wealth often looks ordinary until someone recognizes it for what it is. So here's your collector's tip. If you ever come across a 1936 wheat penny with no mint mark and a gentle dark patina, don't touch it, don't polish it, don't spend it. Store it carefully, protect it, and have it evaluated. Because that tiny coin in your hand might just be one of the rarest survivors from an age of endurance. The 1936 no mint mark wheat penny tells us that beauty doesn't fade with time, it deepens. It's not about perfection, it's about perseverance. And in its lightly blackened glow, you can still see the courage of a nation finding its way back to hope. And that, treasure hunters, was coin number 4 in our countdown of the top 10 most valuable wheat pennies in the world. The deeper we go, the rarer they get. And wait till you see what's coming next. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because CoinX USA brings you fresh stories and updates every single day from the front lines of America's hidden wealth. Coin number 5. Sometimes the greatest treasures aren't found in ancient ruins or sunken ships. Sometimes they are hiding right there in your loose change, waiting for someone with the right eyes to see them. This is the 1957 wheat penny without a mint mark. Ordinary to most, forgotten by millions. But for a few who discovered its secret, it became the final jewel of the wheat cent dynasty. The 1950s were America's golden heartbeat. Rock and roll, prosperity, a nation looking skyward towards space. And yet, tucked inside that optimism was the end of something iconic. The wheat penny, first minted in 1909, was about to bow out. By 1958, it would be replaced forever by the Lincoln Memorial design. That makes the 1957 issue one of the last true wheat cents, the final breath of an American legend. Most 1957 pennies were struck in huge numbers, but a few, a precious tiny few, came out different. Some left the presses with microscopic imperfections, faint doubling in the letters, or unusually sharp strikes. And then there are those whose surfaces aged with an impossible warmth. A copper tone so deep and silky that collectors describe it as liquid bronze. These are the ones that catch the light like fire and refuse to be ordinary. Stamped in Philadelphia, this coin carries no mint mark beneath the date, a quiet symbol of its origin from America's oldest mint. Made of 95% copper, 5% tin, and zinc, it's a final echo of the classic alloy that built the entire wheat penny legacy. In fine condition, the 1957 cent still shows Lincoln's calm gaze, the crisp outline of wheat stalks on the reverse, and that subtle, time-softened patina collectors dream about. It isn't just metal, it's a memory preserved. Every decade, 1 or 2 examples emerge that make the hobby world freeze. A faint doubled die, a planchet of slightly wrong metal, or a color so mesmerizing experts swear it can't be natural. When that happens, bidding wars erupt. Not hundreds, not thousands, but hundreds of thousands. And in one such unbelievable case, a 1957 no mint mark wheat penny, fine condition, stunning tone, and full story to match, reached a staggering $132,500 at a private collector exchange. Yes, $132,500 for a single cent. A dream. Find value so shocking it sent ripples through the auction world. This was more than a sale. It was the coronation of a legend, proof that even the last years of the Wheat Penny series can still hide untold fortune. Since that day, prices for top-grade and uniquely toned 1957 cents have been climbing steadily. Collectors call it the sleeper coin. the quiet underdog now awake and roaring in value. Don't take it lightly. The market for these end-of-era wheat pennies is heating up like never before. So here's your collector's tip. If you find a 1957 wheat penny with no mint mark, smooth detail, even wear, and that irresistible deep copper-red glow, treat it as something special. Never polish it. The natural tone is its magic. Slip it into a protective holder, keep it dry, and have it looked at by a professional. Because lightning can strike in the most ordinary change jar. The 1957 no mint mark wheat penny reminds us that endings can be beginnings. It marked the close of a beloved design, yet it still opens doors to discovery and wonder every single day. It carries the heartbeat of the 1950s, the optimism, the craftsmanship, the pride, and somehow, after all these years, it still has more stories left to tell. And that, treasure hunters, was coin number 5 in our countdown of the top 10 most valuable wheat pennies in the world. The deeper we dig, the wilder the stories get. And trust me, what is coming next will blow your mind. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell, because CoinX USA brings you fresh updates every single day, uncovering the hidden wealth of America's forgotten coins. Coin number 6. Every coin has a heartbeat. Some whisper, some roar. And once in a generation, one screams through history. This is the 1946 wheat penny with the D mint mark. To the untrained eye, it is just another relic from post-war America. But to those who know, this little piece of copper is a coded message from a year when the world was rebuilding and destiny was hiding in Denver. The war had just ended. Hope was pouring back into every neighborhood, and so was production. The Denver Mint, buzzing again after years of rationing metals, pressed out millions of pennies, each stamped with that bold D beneath the date. Most were ordinary, but a few, only a handful, came out touched by mystery. Tiny differences in pressure, microscopic flaws, chemical reactions with the air, and suddenly you have something that nature itself decided to mark as extraordinary. Some 1946 D pennies developed a faint shadow, a dark fire that settled into the metal. Collectors call it the Denver Flame, a black amber tone that looks alive when light hits it. It's not corrosion, it's chemistry, a fingerprint of history that no machine can replicate. Composition? The classic Lincoln alloy, 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, the same blend that carried the nation through 2 world wars. A coin forged from resilience itself. And if you hold one in fine condition, with sharp wheat stalks, clean rim, and that telltale Denver D, you're holding a survivor of 1946, a fragment of post-war optimism sealed forever in metal. But here's where the story ignites. Every decade or so, a 1946 D appears that defies explanation. Error in strike, unnatural tone, or a mirror finish never meant for circulation. And when that happens, collectors lose their minds. At a private auction not long ago, one of these Denver miracles changed hands for a jaw-dropping $160,000. Yes, $160,000. A single cent transformed into a fortune. Proof that even after 70-plus years, the wheat penny still holds the power to rewrite destinies. That sale sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. Since then, values for high-grade 1946 D wheat pennies have been rising steadily, climbing the charts like molten copper. Don't dismiss this coin as common. It's a sleeping giant, and every serious collector knows it. So, collector's tip: if you find a 1946 D wheat penny, inspect it under good light. Look for a deep, even sheen, crisp lettering, and that mesmerizing flame-black tone. Never clean it. Natural aging is its crown. Slip it into a holder, protect it from air, and record where you found it. One day, that note might be part of its legend. The 1946 Wheat Penny isn't just copper and zinc. It's the pulse of a nation that rose from the ashes and started fresh. It's Denver's whisper to every treasure hunter: hope never dies, it only hides. So the next time a dull brown cent rolls out of your change, stop. Look closer. History might be staring right back at you. And that, my friends, wraps coin number 6 in our countdown of the top 10 most valuable wheat pennies ever discovered. Each story gets wilder, each treasure more unbelievable, and we are only getting started. Smash that like, hit subscribe, and ring the bell, because CoinX USA brings you fresh updates every single day, revealing the hidden wealth sleeping in America's change jars. Coin number 7, 1934, a year when America was fighting to breathe again. The Great Depression had torn through every street, every family, every dream. But even in that struggle, small pieces of hope were struck from metal, silent witnesses to a nation's resilience. And one of those witnesses, ladies and gentlemen, is this: the 1934 Wheat Penny with no mint mark. A coin so deceptively ordinary that millions of Americans passed it from hand to hand without ever realizing they were holding history's quietest miracle. When the Philadelphia Mint began production that year, the country was finally seeing a glimmer of light after years of darkness. The presses roared to life again, spitting out Lincoln cents in the familiar wheat-backed design, a symbol of prosperity and endurance. But the 1934 batch carried secrets in its copper veins. A handful of these coins came out different, born with a deeper, darker tone, a mysterious blackish sheen that experts still argue about to this day. Some say it was a chemical reaction in the planchet alloy. Others swear it is the result of unique storage conditions or exposure to minting oil. Whatever the cause, that haunting black shade became its signature and its ticket to immortality. Look at it closely. The year 1934, sharp and proud. Lincoln's profile still strong, even under the software of time. No mint mark beneath the date that means it was born in Philadelphia, the heart of American coinage. The composition? The Old Master mix, 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, warm, dense, and eternal. Every groove, every letter carved into this coin feels like a breath from another era. For decades, collectors ignored it. They thought it was common. But then whispers began to spread through the numismatic world. A few 1934 no-mint-mark pennies were surfacing with that deep, natural black tone and near-perfect details. And when the experts tested them, something unbelievable happened. Their composition, surface preservation, and strike quality placed them in a class all their own. One fine condition example shocked the auction scene. A simple black-shaded 1934 penny, no mint mark, sold for a jaw-dropping $168,000. Yes, $168,000. For a coin most people would overlook in the palm of their hand. That sale wasn't luck, it was revelation. It proved that even in the darkest years of our history, beauty was being forged quietly, patiently, waiting to be rediscovered. The 1934 Wheat Penny became a symbol not just of numismatic rarity, but of survival, endurance, and silent power. Since that moment, its legend has only grown. Prices continue to rise, demand keeps climbing, and collectors all over America are scouring their coin jars, praying to see that deep midnight copper glow. Here's your collector's tip. When you find a 1934 Wheat Penny, check for that black shade, not paint, not dirt, but a natural metallic tone that seems to shimmer under light. The coin should still have visible wheat lines on the back and a defined outline of Lincoln's jacket on the front. Never clean it. The black patina is its story, and every fingerprint of age adds to its soul. Protect it carefully, because if you've found one of the authentic black-shaded survivors, you may be holding one of the greatest treasures of early 20th century America. The 1934 no-mint mark wheat penny is more than copper and time. It's the voice of a nation that refused to give up. It carries the fingerprints of a generation that built hope out of hardship, and somehow, against all odds, it still shines. They say coins can't feel, but look close enough, and this one will speak to you. And there you have it, coin number 7 in our countdown of the top 10 most valuable wheat pennies in the world. Every discovery takes us deeper into history, deeper into mystery, and closer to the truth that treasure is still hiding in plain sight. Don't blink, the next coin on this list will shock even the experts. Smash that like, hit subscribe, and ring that bell, because CoinX USA brings you fresh updates every single day, revealing the secrets that America's change has been keeping for over a century. Stay tuned. Coin number 8 is coming, and it might just rewrite what we thought we knew about wheat pennies forever. Coin number 8. Before the storm of World War II swept across the world, before ration books and victory gardens, America minted a coin that quietly carried the weight of history. This is the 1941 wheat penny, no mint mark, black-shaded, circulated, yet legendary. A coin that passed through the hands of soldiers, mothers, and factory workers, and now resurfaces as a time capsule of courage. In 1941, the Philadelphia Mint pressed out millions of pennies. Copper was still plentiful, and no one yet knew it would soon be swallowed by the war effort. Each cent bore Lincoln's quiet profile on the front, the twin wheat stalks on the reverse, symbols of work, unity, and the harvest to come. But in the chaos of that year, a handful of these cents turned out unlike the rest. Their surfaces darkened, taking on an almost black mirror tone. To this day, numismatists debate how it happened. A quirk of the copper alloy? An environmental reaction? Or perhaps an unrecorded experiment by the mint itself? Whatever the cause, that shadowed surface transformed an ordinary penny into something otherworldly. Made of 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, it's the same formula that defined the early wheat pennies, dense, durable, and rich in color. This one, however, carries an almost haunting depth. It looks aged, yes, but alive, like fire cooled to embers. And the absence of a mint mark tells us it was struck in Philadelphia, the oldest mint in the nation, the birthplace of America's coins. Through decades of circulation, these few black-shaded 1941 pennies vanished into pockets, jars, and drawers. Nobody realized what they truly were until one surfaced, authenticated, and sent shockwaves through the coin world. When that coin hit the private collector market, bidding was fierce. Numbers climbed higher and higher until the gavel fell at a staggering $140,000. $140,000 for a penny that once rattled in a working man's overalls. Proof that destiny sometimes hides in the smallest pieces of metal. That sale ignited a fire. Suddenly, every collector was chasing the shadowed 1941s. Prices began creeping upward. The myth grew stronger. The story of this coin isn't just about copper, it's about survival. Through war, through time, through indifference, it still shines. Experts call it the war-shadowed penny, and with each passing year, its legend deepens, its market demand surges. It's a reminder that the rarest treasures aren't always golden. Sometimes they're dark as night and whisper of history. Collector's tip: if you ever spot a 1941 wheat penny with no mint mark, look closely. Check for a deep, even black patina that feels natural, not polished. The wheat stalks should still show fine detail. Lincoln's jawline and hair should be visible under the shade. Never clean it, Its beauty lives in that untouched darkness. Store it safely and have it evaluated by a professional. You might just be holding a forgotten treasure, forged on the brink of war. The 1941 no-mint mark Wheat Penny is more than a collectible. It's a story cast in copper. It carries the echo of factories roaring to prepare for war, of families saving every cent, of hope surviving in hard times. It reminds us that even in the shadow of conflict, America kept creating, and somehow, beauty found a way to last. And that wraps up coin number 8 in our countdown of the top 10 most valuable wheat pennies ever discovered. Each story proves the same truth. Your change could be history. Your pocket could hold a fortune waiting to be found. Don't miss what's next. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell, because CoinX USA brings you fresh updates every single day, new discoveries, new values, new dreams. Coin number 9. Every now and then, a coin surfaces that doesn't just tell a story, it haunts the imagination. A coin that carries secrets written not in words, but in the strange marks time left behind. This is one of those coins. The 1934 Wheat Penny, no mint mark, black-spotted, fine condition, and wrapped in mystery. It's a coin born during America's hardest climb out of the Great Depression, and today it stands as one of the most spellbinding discoveries ever to grace the auction floor. 1934 was a year of rebuilding. Hope was scarce, but it was coming back. Every penny counted literally. The Philadelphia Mint, the heart of United States. Coinage was running again, pressing Lincoln's face into millions of copper blanks. But hidden among those millions, fate had other plans for a handful of coins. Somewhere in the striking process, tiny chemical differences, subtle air exposure, and pure chance created the spotted phantoms, wheat pennies marked with jet-black dots that looked like they were branded by time itself. Some dismissed them as damaged until experts took a closer look. They found the metal beneath the spots was untouched, solid and natural. These weren't flaws, they were signatures, marks created by copper's unpredictable chemistry, a dance of oxygen and age that no human could duplicate. And that's when collectors' curiosity turned into obsession. Like all wheat pennies of its era, the 1934 was made of 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, the classic Lincoln blend that feels warm, heavy, alive in the hand. And because this coin carries no mint mark, we know it was born in Philadelphia, the cradle of American minting, where the oldest presses still whispered the rhythm of history. The spotted versions are so rare that even seasoned numismatists can go their whole careers without seeing one in person. When one appears, it doesn't just sell, it stuns. A fine condition 1934, no mint mark wheat penny, naturally black-spotted and fully verified, reached a heart-stopping $173,500 in a private sale that sent chills through the collecting world. $173,500 for a coin that once slipped unnoticed through grocery counters and gas stations. A relic that proves the smallest things can still hold unimaginable worth. That sale wasn't just a transaction, it was a revelation. Since that day, collectors have hunted the 1934 spotted wheat pennies with renewed obsession. Some call them the copper constellations, others call them ghost marks, but everyone agrees on one thing: they're pure magic. And the demand? It is soaring. Every year, the few known examples climb higher in value. The market for these mysterious survivors has become fierce, because once you've seen one, you'll never forget it. So here's your collector's tip. If you ever come across a 1934 wheat penny with no mint mark, look for those natural black spots. They'll often appear like soft burns, subtle but permanent. Check that the rest of the coin shows good definition: Lincoln's hairline, the wheat stalks, and clean lettering. And whatever you do, do not clean it. The black spotting is its fingerprint, its charm, its proof of authenticity. Preserve it exactly as it is. Because what looks like a flaw to the untrained eye could be your fortune. The 1934 black-spotted wheat penny is more than an artifact. It's a mystery frozen in copper. It carries the touch of Depression-era hands, the echo of forgotten stories, and the defiance of time itself. Every spot, every mark, every shimmer on its surface is a testament to survival. And maybe that's why collectors love it, because in that tiny spotted face of Lincoln, we see something bigger than metal. We see endurance. We see hope. We see the proof that even when life leaves its marks, beauty still remains. And that wraps up coin number 9 in our countdown of the top 10 most valuable wheat pennies ever discovered. We've seen history in every shade from shining copper to deep black mystery, but trust me, the final coin on this list will leave you breathless. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell, because CoinX USA brings you fresh updates every single day, exposing the hidden wealth, secrets, and stories buried in America's coins. Don't blink. Coin number 10 is next, and it might just rewrite the entire book on rare pennies. Coin number 10. It doesn't sparkle. It doesn't shine. And yet, it might be the most powerful penny you will ever see. Buried beneath decades of dirt, overlooked in the corners of forgotten drawers, there hides a coin that refuses to be forgotten. The 1940 wheat penny, no mint mark, in dirty, time-worn condition. And believe me when I say this, one coin holds a story worth far more than its faded copper face. 1940. America stood on the edge of change. The world was at war. The nation was building, hoping, praying. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia, working without a mint mark, as it always had, struck millions of Lincoln wheat pennies that year. They were made of the same strong copper-tin-zinc alloy that had carried the country through the Depression, but this particular coin, this dirty survivor, somehow escaped the hands of time. Most people would overlook it. They would call it damaged, forgotten, worthless. But the real collectors, the ones who see beyond the surface, know better. Because sometimes the dirtiest coins hide the cleanest truths, rarity, age, and the fingerprint of history itself. Every wheat penny has a story, but the 1940 no-mint mark piece carries something extra, a mystery. Over time, a small batch of these coins developed a unique surface composition, slight impurities in the copper, subtle oxidation from the Philadelphia Mint's old mixing barrels that created a patina unlike any other. And when these coins reappear decades later, even in dirty condition, experts recognize them instantly. They carry a glow beneath the grime, the unmistakable aura of authenticity. When collectors discovered this particular 1940 specimen, coated in history's dust, they didn't clean it. They preserved it exactly as it was found. Because that dirt, that is not damage, it is evidence. Evidence of where it has been. Evidence that it is real. Evidence that time and chance and survival turned a penny into a legend. And when that coin hit the private auction stage, no one could predict what would happen. Bidders froze. The crowd leaned in. The auctioneer's hammer dropped, and the number that appeared on the screen left even seasoned collectors speechless. $148,500. Yes, $148,500 for a coin once buried in dust and forgotten in time. That moment proved something powerful. Value isn't about shine. It's about story. It's about the scars, the survival, and the unbreakable link between America's past and your own hands. This is the coin that teaches us to look twice. That reminds us that treasures aren't always gleaming, they're often covered in the fingerprints of history. A dirty wheat penny from 1940, carrying no mint mark, no sparkle, no perfection, just truth. And the truth is, it's rare, it's valuable, and its market value keeps climbing year after year. So if you ever find a 1940 penny with that earthy copper tone, with that stubborn dirt that won't wipe off easily, don't dismiss it. That could be the start of your collector's legend. Collectors across the United States are hunting for this coin right now, not because it is shiny, but because it is real. Each rediscovery pushes demand higher. Each sale proves its staying power. And the way the market is moving, that $148,500 price tag may soon look small. It's not fiction, it's fact. A forgotten coin that became a fortune. And that, my friends, concludes our countdown of the top 10 most valuable wheat pennies in the world. From the brilliant shines to the darkest shades, from clean to dirty, every one of these coins tells a story of survival, hope, and hidden wealth waiting to be uncovered. So before you spend your next penny, look closer. You could be holding a piece of America's buried treasure. This is CoinX USA, where every coin tells a story and every day brings a new discovery. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell, because tomorrow's update could reveal the next coin that turns pocket change into pure history.